from the great Pelican State.
If you make a list of historical events I lived through, moments that I can not only recall the event or what was said, but just how I felt about it at the time. There are big ones, like 9/11 in my third year of college, the inaugurations of George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. I remember the O.J. trial in high school. I remember when the Starr Report was released during high school. But the one that I go back to in my mind most frequently, and with the most fondness, is the moment that Hulk Hogan picked Andre the Giant up over his head and then threw him down to the mat, eventually winning the WWF Championship belt. It was 1987. I was 6, and my grandfather and I watched it live on pay-per-view while the rest of the family were at Sunday night services. It was the greatest thing I had ever seen. And even now, watching it on YouTube or the WWE Network app can give me chills. Hulk Hogan is far from my favorite wrestler at this point. Even when I had a subscription to the network, I don't have an active one as I release this episode. I don't generally watch the new events. I watch the old stuff and the documentary series about the old stuff. I'm not what you would call a wrestling fan by almost any stretch of the imagination, at least in my current life. But I will forever love the squared circle and all the chicanery that 2 or more big burly men can get up to in and around it. Wrestling was for me at 6 a real-life version of the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon I so loved at the same time. Real-life giant good guys and bad guys exploding out of my screen and into my heart. I had action figures and Wrasslin buddies and videotapes, and Papa and I would buy at least 3 or 4 pay-per-views every year. The WWF was basically just for TV, but the WCW actually visited our area, and Papa and I were there in person to see Sting and the Steiners, and Ric Flair, and a host of others slugging it out and stomping for emphasis on the punches, and selling the angle and pushing the face over the heel almost every single time. I love Hogan, and Savage, and Warrior, and Rhodes. I love Flair, and the Firebirds, and Steamboat, and Stinger. When the sport was reborn as sports entertainment with the Attitude Era, I was there, flipping back and forth every Monday night. I followed the Outsiders and the NWO, Mick Foley, and more. I also found an even better way to watch pay-per-view, as a buddy had a hacked satellite dish and a desire to host folks on Sunday nights. I spent at least 2 Sundays a month at Clarence's house, with a rotating cast of friends from high school cheering for this good guy or that heel, and loving every single minute of it. Why do I still hold this fondness for wrestling? Why do these moments mean so much to who I am? They are morality plays, performed in a manner that made them impossibly pleasant to swallow whole for a boy my age, learning to be the person I'd grow to become. When Hogan was at his height, I did need to take my vitamins, say my prayers, and work hard. When Nash and Hall destroyed the WCW, I was driving for the first time, applying to colleges and trying to wrap my head around moving out of my parents' house to become a grown-up. When The Rock became Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and better known for The Fast and the Furious than the People's Elbow, I was having kids, and happy to get to see my idol once a year instead of every Monday night, plus one Sunday a month. As my kids reached the age where they might need a simple good versus evil story to drive something home, and also really enjoy a properly performed moonsault, the WWE Network was there to give us affordable Sunday pay-per-views, but also an easy forum to show them my favorite moments and memories from a lifetime of loving these larger-than-life superstars. Wrestling taught me how to put on a show, how to show up every night, and that no matter how tired you are or how long the road trip has been, some kid is always watching you. So give them what they came for. For now, I'm Joel. This is my story. Or one of them, anyway. Thanks for listening.
You got busted without a dime to your name. You took a bus ride with your mindset to fame. They had a tough time remembering your name. Well, we don't. No, we don't. You missed your big chance to be a Hollywood star, but for most folks, that never was in the cards. Well, you sailed and you failed. Well, at least you got to do it while you were young, before you get old and you lose your nerve. So here's to you from the great Pelican State. It's never too late to come back home. So here's to you for doing what you gotta do. We'll be waiting here with love in place from the great Pelican State.